In Costa Rica, West Virginia-sized Central American nation of 5 million people, the suburbs of the capital, San Jose, have been home since 2009 to U.S. retirees Lucinda Gray and David Truslow. Former Californians, they currently enjoy a spacious condo in a gated development with a guardhouse and a watch cat. The mountainside views of the temperate Central Valley are unbeatable. Still, interviewed in 2011, Lucinda and Dave expressed some misgivings about life among the 70,000 American expats in Costa Rica.
It just hits you, like, oh my God, I don't know anybody. All my friends are in LA, there's a language, I don't speak the language. It's a real issue. I feel like I don't understand the culture.
Petty theft is very common. We've lost a camera, we probably left it on a table, and when we came back it wasn't there, and nobody'd seen it. And another time we left a cell phone in a car, but we left the car unlocked.
Still there and obviously comfortable now, this couple is happy to describe retirement's joys and challenges in a new land.
The most important thing to understand is pura vida, which is the saying of Costa Rica, which means the pure life, is a little deceiving, because what it really means is things happen and you're now delayed or your paperwork wasn't in, or something that's not right. Well, that's just life, pura vida. And I found out what patience was. And so it's actually been good. There's no big pharma here jacking prices up. There's no AMA. There's that, and now there's Trump. I feel like either going back as a soldier and fighting for liberty and fighting for democracy, or just staying away and hanging out and saying, you guys, messed up, and I'm glad I'm out. You would think that being in a socialist country, that it would not be that attractive to Republicans, but most of the people we meet that retire here are Republicans. The Democrat, the working class, those that are here are not that well off. To help with things, I do a little trading, and then Lucinda has her practice. We could make it on our Social Security and did do it, but now, with these extra monies, we live a lot better. We have a maid, comes in twice a week, very inexpensive. The place is just always beautiful. So just that sense of well-being is almost enough. There's women's club, there's newcomers club, there's wine club, there's investment club, there's book groups, there's Democrats abroad. What they do have here, which is people are not ready for, is traumate. And traumate here means paperwork or red tape. And because it's Napoleonic law, everything is done in triplicate. Nobody has authority. Everybody, you have to do by the book. Almost enough to drive you back to the United States, because it's just so unreasonable. But then that's pura vida. That's the way it is. If you accept it, then you just, well, that's the way it is.
You can stay forever.
Right. It's expensive to live here in terms of clothes. In fact, most people go to the United States to buy clothes because it's cheaper to buy clothes there. A car is much more expensive here. They charge 25%. Yeah, this is the highest cost of living place in Central America.
Lucinda and Dave's Peugeot diesel SUV leaves the cool 4,000-foot elevation of their place in Santa Ana for a weekend on Costa Rica's tropical Pacific coast, where beaches and the biodiversity of Manuel Antonio National Park attract vacationers. At their hotel, Lucinda, who has been ambitiously learning Spanish, takes her turn in recounting her experiences.
It's very peaceful here. I don't have to worry about Donald Trump. It's, a really comfortable, semi-retired life. I am practicing psychotherapy. I work about 8 to 10 hours a week, and I'm really extremely happy with my work. I have a chance to work without working full time. We have friends. We've developed several couples that we're friendly with, that we hang out with. We're in Democrats Abroad, and we have a lot of friends in there. We go to the theater. There's a little theater group here, and it's really excellent. We live much better than we could afford to live in the U.S. Way, way better, over the top better. We pay $20 a month each for our cell phones with unlimited calling and internet. And our house phone we pay $10 a month for. Groceries, depends on what you want. You want Danish cheese or American cheese, you pay. But if you want to eat Tico cheese, it's barato. I mean, that means cheap. If we wanted to live like the Ticos, we could shop at the feria and get delicious chicken and wonderful, actually people buy fish there too. I've never done that, I'm kind of afraid. But we used to go to the feria all the time. The vegetables are just they're heavenly and so cheap. We come home with $20 or $30 worth of wonderful food that really would be, we could eat for an entire week on that, but instead we go to the Americanized market where where the local food is still pretty cheap, but they have everything imported you might want to have. I'm still not sure we're going to stay because as we get older, I keep thinking we need American health care. I am tremendously healthy, but I need a knee replacement, and we're going to have to go to the States, for a month so that I can have that taken care of. And eventually, I know that there will be more serious medical problems. They have national health, and we as residents are required to pay into it. But we haven't used it because it's very poor. They're required to go to the hospital in the area where we live, and it's very old, built in 1920 or something, and very decrepit and very crowded. And we've heard terrible stories about people lying in the hallway on gurneys for hours. It has been defunded and defunded by the oligarchy. There's very wealthy families that run the country, and they don't want to pay taxes. We do not have the rule of law. The very rich do what they want. But for maintenance, which I seem to need quite a lot, dermatologist, gynecologist, but we have a tremendous internist who gives us quality attention. It's really, I've never had a doctor in the U.S. take care of me in that way. He's Harvard educated, he speaks English, he spends a full hour with us, and the fee is $108. There is a great private hospital. Our internist practices there. Well, we can't afford it. I don't think we could. I think a friend of ours had a hip replacement done there, and they screwed it up. They gave him the wrong size hip.
Their most distressing problem, a collision with a motorcyclist and its fallout in the courts. The trouble started with Dave at the wheel near their home.
Put the signal on, slowed down, and started into the left turn. And all of a sudden, bang, something hit. I saw the motorcycle hit the side of the car. It was obviously the guy's fault. He was trying to pass us on the left in an intersection. But he had witnesses, false witnesses. There was nobody there. If you're gringo, you're screwed. The first hearing, just David had to go in alone. And the translator told him, well, because they have witnesses, they will win. David was considered a criminal and notified as a criminal because the guy was gravely injured. And the guy claimed he was off work for over a year. But our attorney called him at work and he was there. So we don't know what's going on. There will be 3 hearings and we will have to go all the way through. We can't just say, okay, and give it to our insurance company. They do not defend us. They don't do anything to help us. Of course, our fee for the insurance is like $125 every 6 months. It's very cheap. We have to go through all 3 hearings, and our attorney's going to charge us $1,500 per hearing. And then we can turn it over to our insurance, and they'll pay it. The auto accident is a nuisance, and it will be expensive to pay the lawyer, but it's a nuisance. It's not a threat. I can't think of anything that's terrible, really. If we got sick, we'd move home so we could have Medicare. Other than that, we miss our children, and then sometimes it's great that we're not on top of them and they're not on top of us. We go back and we see the children at least once a year.
Checked out and back home, Dave and Lucinda toast a new grandson in California and their own success in adjusting to Costa Rica's Pura Vida.
At retirement age, you're really looking for a lot less to do. You're looking for time to read your book and time to talk and time to be with friends. What a lucky happenstance to say, okay, well, we're going to go to Costa Rica and try that, and then find out that the things that you really want in retirement are here.
What you learn is that life is still fine and wonderful, and you're still happy, and you're still well fed, and we have peace.